How do you feel about tonight? Are you excited about tonight? Because a lot of people are saying 5 weeks of this for something that obviously most people can't even vote for or take part in.
Well, I do think it's right that we test the future Prime Minister of this country. Now, one of the reasons I'm supporting Liz is because I've seen how she's worked as Foreign Secretary. I've seen how she's conducted herself on the world stage. I've seen how she's taken long-standing, consistent positions on China, for example, on making the most of the fact we've left the European Union. But a lot of people won't have seen all that detail, so I think it's right that they see them both, and I think it's right that they're tested. They're tested on whether their ideas are deliverable and also whether those ideas are long-held ideas. And I think that's an important point of it. I do hope that it doesn't end up with them being forced by the broadcasters to take chunks out of each other. I don't think that's a particularly great idea, but I do think it's important that people see the future leader of this country.
So, which broadcasters force them to take chunks out of each other? Broadcasters can't make them say what they're going to say.
Well, look, you're an experienced broadcaster, that the way you frame a question, the way you come with follow-ups can encourage either a collegiate debate or quite an unsightly tussle. I really hope that the candidates are given the opportunity to say what they believe, to answer the questions fully. I think that Liz has got an outstanding track record over many, many years on some of the issues that are facing the country today, and I really hope she has the opportunity to explain those fully. But as I say, the people hosting these debates have a big influence on the tone of the exchanges, and I hope that the debate is structured in a way that both candidates are able to speak openly and freely rather than being goaded into some kind of gladiatorial political tussle.
James, it's interesting that you raise this point in general, and there are pressures on interviewers to please their peer group or, to be gladiatorial, as you say there. We had the privilege of having Liz Truss on the show last week, and I'll tell you what I thought, and I think what the viewers thought at the end of that. They felt she had a chance to talk, and they felt they had a chance to get to know her. They felt they got a chance to hear about things that weren't just politics. And you know what? 82% of them decided that they liked her. Now, whether they were going to be 82% of the membership or not, I'm going to say to you, if she continues in that way, and she's interviewed in that way, and we get to see the real Liz Truss, would you accept that this election is hers to lose?
Well, look, what you've just said doesn't surprise me. I've known Liz for decades, and we've been good friends, so I think it's only fair that I'm open about that. So I had a positive predisposition towards her running as Prime Minister anyway. But what's really struck me is, as I say, working with her in the Foreign Office, seeing how she's dealt with the incredible difficult situations that we are faced with internationally. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, China's economic leverage in the developing world, and a whole load of other issues too numerous to mention. But on top of that, of course, I've seen the more private, personal side of her. The fact that she is incredibly clever, but also she can be very, very light-hearted and fun to be with. And I really hope that through this process, people will get to see not only the tough side of her that's been dealing with these international crises that we find ourselves in the midst of, but also that human side, the side that I see. And I think that combination is exactly what we need as a future Prime Minister.